but they executed more cleanly from beginning to end. From our standpoint, really difficult to watch Taysom go down. Early report is it is a broken leg, lower bone in his body. Surgery tomorrow morning, 7:30. He'll be out for the year. 3 to 4 month recovery is what the early sign is. So Christian Stewart will be our quarterback in moving forward. And now with the fast turnaround, a lot of work to do before we play Thursday night against Central Florida. And so 5 other players, from what I understand, ankle sprains or high ankle sprains that most likely will be questionable for that game. So we'll find out a real clear assessment of who's in, who's out, and then regroup and make sure we address whatever execution needs and things we need to do to improve and get ready to play again. So with that, I'll take questions if anyone has them.
When Taysom went down, you're behind at that point, and what's the mentality? What do you have to do? What needed to be done at that point?
Really, there wasn't much from an offensive perspective. We've trained Christian Stewart within the same plan as what Taysom had. Obviously, Taysom's a phenomenal athlete at that point. 2 scores down with an entire half to play wasn't now a radical game plan change. The execution now has to be at a higher level because of Taysom, his ability to create and make things go the distance sometimes that don't have or aren't blocked well enough to go the distance. So everything within our offensive system now will have to be executed at a higher level is really what that meant at that moment.
What did you see from Christian just as far as his
work? I think he tried really hard and was forcing things toward the end, and but certainly the grit and determination and heart were there. A bunch of execution work too.
How did Jamal Williams look in your opinion?
I think he looked strong. I think he tried hard, and I think he ran the ball well when he was given the opportunity. And I thought he ran the ball and tried hard.
Second game in a row, you guys have yielded a lot of yards on defense.
Yeah.
Can you just speak to that?
Yeah, most of it coming through the air and over the top of our corners. We had a slant and go for a touchdown. We got an out and up for a huge gain. We had a quarterback scramble. All 3 of those just corners with eye control, meaning didn't concentrate quite well enough. So 3 giant plays, 2 touchdowns right before the half. And then we go from 14-14 to 28-14. And then the out and up toward the third quarter maybe was a huge gainer. And again, that was discipline and eye control by our corner.
How do you go about addressing that?
We've addressed it hard the past 2 weeks, and it's now a matter of personal responsibility, not only of the players doing it, but of the coaches to make sure it happens. And so it's been uncovered. Now we've seen it, and we worked really hard for 2 weeks on it when we thought we had it addressed. Credit Utah State. They had some fast guys out there that ran by us a few times.
What did you think of the pass rush, just as far as that?
Still not happy with it, and so a ways to go still as a defensive unit for aggressive play. So the second half, I actually thought we played much better. We played more on edge, we played more aggressive, we played with more intent, we played with more grit, we played with more determination, we played more aggressively. So I liked the way we played more in the second half than the first half. But too passive in general. I need to be more aggressive after the quarterback.
Do you envision yourself becoming more involved with the defense from here on out?
Too early to say. At this point, I'll take a good look at the film and I'll continue to put myself wherever I need to be to try to help our team win. If you asked me before this game, obviously it's a different story. So after I watch the film, I'll assess where I think I can help most.
Is there a benefit to playing on Friday night when you have a Thursday night game coming up?
Well, it's one day closer, but again, because of general conference, we don't use Sunday, and there's not going to be practice tomorrow. So really the equivalent is playing Saturday is what it is in this particular case.
There was a sequence, you're up 14-7, they've got a field goal opportunity. George Johnson, I think it was, came off too early. They get the first down, get a touchdown, and then there's the fumble and the touchdown. That sequence right there just seemed to completely flip the game.
That was a huge momentum shift in the game, especially when it was concentration oriented. And that's this particular team and our staff has to really work hard to find a way for this team to really be more clean in terms of how they play the game while they play aggressively.
Do you think that Christian Stewart, now being the quarterback, is there going to need to be some adaptation for the offense, or do you plan on doing basically the same thing?
As much of the same as we can, because so much training and time has gone into it. There is no other Taysom Hill. but Taysom is mobile. He is a good run threat, and I think he can do a lot. We can do a lot within the offense of what was designed for Taysom. But again, the execution from top to bottom is going to have to increase because, again, there isn't anyone maybe else anywhere that is like Taysom in terms of the ability to create, and so we'll have to be more execution side.
Having prepared for both Chucky and Daryl Garrettson, what did you think about Daryl?
I thought he played well. I thought they had a nice plan. He threw the ball well. He throws the deep ball well. We saw that on one particular play against Arkansas State. So I thought he handled the game really well for Utah State and did a nice job.
Did Taysom know instantly his injury was serious?
Pardon me?
Did you guys know instantly the injury was serious?
I got word maybe 3 or 4 minutes after Taysom went behind me on the bench that it looked like it was a broken leg.
How do you help your team rebound?
Yeah, work. And so, first of all, for every solution or every problem, there is always a solution. We'll find it, we'll work hard at it, and that's what coaches and teachers do, and that's what people do that really want to excel. And so, the first thing is letting them know what they can improve on. Second thing is giving them the right chance to respond correctly and then put them in the right positions.
This is 2 straight bye weeks where the team hasn't played its best football coming out off the byes. Does that change your perspective? Do you look at it at all from that standpoint?
I really haven't seen any commonality there. So, yeah, I can't say that was in my thoughts.
Coach, your goals were obviously very high. Taysom was getting Heisman, and to lose him and the undefeated. What's the atmosphere of the players, or how?
Yeah, they're disappointed. They're looking for, I think, for solace. They're looking for comfort, and really there isn't any right now. That will only come through work, and they'll have to rebuild themselves back into that. That's how you address it. Is you just get back to work.
Well, a lot fewer penalties tonight, but some came at pivotal moments.
Oh yeah.
Do you feel like you've progressed in that regard?
To some extent, and step by step, but it's not the giant leap. And when you start looking at where some of them are coming and who they're coming from, we have some younger players that are not very disciplined, and we have some older players who just didn't concentrate so well in a few critical moments. And so I'd say we're making some progress there.